Our next story also involves Russia, but this time the theatre is different. It is not about Ukraine or the US. Moscow has other fish to fry too. It has set its sights on the African nation of Sudan. Russia has worked out an agreement to set up a naval base in Sudan on the coast of the Red Sea. This would be Russia's first naval base in Africa. Let's turn to the map. This is Sudan. As you can see, it has a coast along the Red Sea. This is where Russia plans to set up a naval base, and yesterday Sudan gave it the go-ahead. This is a long delayed step. Sudan and Russia initially talked about this back in 2019. This was under Sudan's former president, Omar al-Bashir. But Bashir was overthrown that very year in 2019. A military coup took place and he was deposed. The new military junta that came in signed a deal with Russia. They wanted to go ahead with a naval base, but then there was a shake-up. In 2021, Sudan's current junta leader took over. His name is Abdel Fattah al-Burhan. Burhan halted Russia's plans. He said the deal would have to be reviewed. So Russia had to wait, and then things went awry. You may know that there's a civil war going on in Sudan. It began in 2023 and it left Russia split. Moscow primarily exerts its influence in Africa through mercenary groups like the infamous Wagner group. It was active in Sudan during the civil war, and Wagner chose to back one side, the RSF paramilitary group. But the Kremlin backed the other side. It was supporting Burhan and the Sudanese army. As I said, Russia was split. But it seems that Moscow's decision to play both sides worked out in the end. The Sudanese military has been making gains recently. It has been capturing territory from the RSF, and it's reportedly marching to Sudan's capital to take it back. And the army is grateful for Russia's support in all of this, and it seems that Moscow backed the right horse here. Their reward, the new naval base. The Sudan-based deal comes at a good time for Russia. Its main naval base in West Asia is in a tricky position, the Tartus naval base in Syria. Russia backed a losing horse in Syria, remember? The ousted President Bashar Al-Assad. Syria's new rebel rulers are not too happy with Moscow, so the Tartus base's future is in doubt. But with the Sudan deal in place, Russia will be able to relocate. It can move its ships to the Red Sea, still close enough to exert influence in West Asia. And they will also get additional influence in Africa to boot. So not a bad trade at all. The Red Sea is already full of foreign bases. The US, China, the UK, France, Germany, Italy, all of them have bases nearby in the country of Djibouti. So Russia is moving to a very crowded area. But this could work in Moscow's favor. It could allow them to keep a close eye on their rivals. Again, it's a potential win. But let's see if that actually happens, because as I said, the Sudan civil war is still very much on. Even though Burhan's junta has the upper hand right now, who knows what tomorrow will bring. We're calling this show Vantage. We hope you like what we've put together for you. Touted as the minimum defense from that video. India's neighbors were the first to send the special edition of Vantage live from the White House throughout the week. Hindu Mandir in we're on our way to Tel Aviv. Pretty measure, but it's also the perfect way to drive.
I don't think that
Prime Minister of Bhutan, Sherin Tagwe. Welcome to
60% of the world's
office. Prime Minister Modi did the iron.
We were actually
How are you doing? How do you like? It's been 1 year since that meeting. Iron bars separate you from the outside. Out the vote effort. Trump had, it says, and at $4.3 trillion. 4.3 300 billion by 2030. That's what we need to tackle climate change.